The Tribute, Castnet, Insaga, City News Kitchener, Barrie 360, Global News. Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David. Today, we've got the election results of the by-election of Toronto St. Paul. We've also got, sadly, the results of the Stanley Cup final. The Oilers fought hard. They came up short 1 goal. It's really a shame that you've got 3 Florida Panthers dogpiling on the puck like a bunch of weenie losers, and there's no penalties called. That should be a penalty shot. Anyways, if we take a look here, so these results are still coming in. They're not final at the time I'm filming this, but looking at it right now, we can see at the bottom here, we've got 67.71%. That's so the polling reporting is 130 of 192, so we're not quite there yet. We've got the Liberals here, Leslie Church, 42.3%, and the Conservative Don Stewart, 38.2%. So I think they're going from lowest to highest with the amount of poll numbers coming in, and this is slowly dropping the Liberal number. This was, I think, 36 to 45, and now it's 42 to 38, so it's getting closer and closer. Anything can happen, but it probably is not going to go Conservative's way. It's still going to be probably 2 or 3% off. Let's just take a look today at what was happening with the polling, and specifically of Leslie Church and her office, which is a little bit disturbing to say the least. So we've got this here. This is from Ezra Levant from Rebel News. He drove by.
We're driving on Yonge Street in Toronto, one of the busiest streets in the city. And just ahead, if I'm not mistaken, oh, there it is the by-election campaign office of Leslie Church, the Liberal candidate. And it's just so classic that they have a homeless man outside their campaign office.
That's unreal. There's a homeless guy outside the by-election office for Leslie Church. They don't care. So we've got this photo that's going around. If you look at her hair here, it's a Photoshop job. But regardless, this guy is real. He's not Photoshopped. Somebody Photoshopped her in front of this. The caption is hilarious. You too can be this guy if you just vote for me. What's also funny about the by-election office here is this guy set up out front with the F Trudeau flags and music and the whole business. Okay, I can't play that. They'll copyright it, like 100%. But this is hilarious, like right outside. And not only that, there's a dog here that responds to the F Trudeau.
Yeah, quick they learn, right? And she just knows. Hey, Trudeau. What? Trudeau. Yeah, quick Trudeau. That's why I named you Freedom, even you know. Right? You know Trudeau must go. Yeah, I figured there'd be more people down there.
Look at this. So we got this post here. It says, incredible, the lineup to vote and stand with Leslie and the Liberals to save democracy is huge. This is put Xi Jinping in there. Oh God, this got me good. Why is everyone wearing a mask? Yeah, good question. Been drinking the Kool-Aid. So next up, we got a clip here of Chrystia Freeland. She's speaking at this event. It's an announcement that they basically imposing taxes, tariffs on imported Chinese EVs, which we'll get to in a second. But first off, she promotes Leslie Church and the by-election. And what she says here is got to be one of the most appalling things ever. I'll let her speak her own words here.
That is Leslie's vision. That's the Liberal vision. That's why I'm really calling on the people of St. Paul's to go out there and vote for her, because the alternative is really cold and cruel and small. The alternative is cuts and austerity, not believing in ourselves as a country, not believing in our communities and in our neighbors.
Chrystia Freeland just called all Canadians who don't vote for the Liberals cold, cruel, and small. Are you kidding me? This is not even a conservative or liberal thing. She said the alternative, NDP, Green, PPC, Rhino Party, whatever party. Everyone else is cold, cruel, and small. I'm flabbergasted by her. This nasty wench. She seems to one-up herself on how to further insult Canadians daily. Unbelievable. Let's see what the comments are on this one. None of them have any ethics or obey the rules. Isn't that breaking the law, or at the very least rules? Yeah, it seems a little bit slimy that the active government is campaigning. It doesn't seem right. They're taking advantage of the megaphone to promote their own party in the by-elections. Please investigate this violation. Elections Canada. Is this really their account? To promote fairness, the Canadian Election Act prohibits election advertising on election day. The act also clarifies, though, election advertising does not include sharing electorals, debates, speeches, interviews, columns, letter, commentary, or news. At CBC, this should be called out. Yeah, right. CBC's not calling anything out. How do you not know the rules, or are you breaking them despite knowing? So this is illegal. So people are really pissed here about breaking the rules regarding the election. I'm more appalled about what she said. She's basically calling all of us who don't support the Liberals cold, cruel, and small. Campaigning an our dime, isn't that against the law? Exactly. Canada Proud posted this, the same quote, but they did some clever editing. I really like this edit.
That is Leslie's vision. That's the Liberal vision. That's why I'm really calling on the people of St. Paul's to go out there and vote for her, because the alternative is really cold and cruel and small. 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 Cold and cruel and small.
Checkmate, man. That's a great edit. This is terrible. Breaking the law and insulting Canadians all in one fell swoop. What is their plan here? Let's just insult them, then we'll get support. She needs a serious reality check. Yeah. Coming from the same woman who cracked as she froze the bank accounts of Canadians who assembled to peacefully protest a cold, small man hiding behind the government. But don't worry, I got you covered with that clip too.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information. So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both.
Look at her laughing after she froze the bank accounts. Put her in jail. We've also got this post by Stephen Taylor, which is quite interesting. It says, question for the Canadian Press Wire Service. Is anyone else running in the St. Paul's by-election, or are you just going to promote the Liberal candidate in your headline photo for every news website in the country? Now, before I show you this, let's just look here. So these are all the people that are running. There's a whole ton of independents. There's a couple funny ones in here, like we've got the Rhinoceros Party, we've got the Marxist-Leninist Party, the MJ Party. As you can see, there's a ton of people. Obviously, the top two are conservative and liberal. Now, tell me something isn't corrupt without telling me it's corrupt. Look at this. The Tribute, Castnet, Insaga, City News Kitchener, Barry 360, Global News, globalnews.ca. Look at this. It's all the same junk. It's the same caption, the same photo, the same headline. Global News Toronto, Toronto B, CP24, Mortgage Brokers Network. This is ridiculous. This is how corrupt the media is. I know, that's why you guys watch me, because I'm not a part of all this junk. I don't get the secret briefcases and the high fives and big bonuses and all the corrupt garbage to promote nonsense and lies. I'm just a dude sitting in a room with a cat next to me. That's it. That's the studio. There's no boss back there. It's like, hey, you got to promote the Leslie Church thing because Trudeau's giving us fat cash. This is horrendous. This is not democracy. Massive election interference. These criminals need to go. Yeah, this is election interference. Canadian press showing its pro-liberal bias. CTV was the only one not to get the memo. Geez. Okay, now jumping back to this press conference. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. So she's announcing that we're putting tariffs on electric vehicles. Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of fighting for climate change? She's just proving, as it says here by a son of a bench, that this is all about the money. He says, liberals caught in another lie. It's not about climate change and the environment. It's all about the money. China has made an enormous amount of EVs and want to export them to Canada. But Freeland is going to put major tariffs on them to stop them from entering Canada to protect the liberals' investment in the EV market, thus preventing Canadians from adopting the climate-saving vehicles sooner. If they really cared about climate change and the EVs were a major part of that, they would accept the vehicles from anywhere, especially China. A lot of them look like they are quite good. They're not just rinky-dink stuff. There's some garbage vehicles over there for sure, but a lot of them are like high-end vehicles, and they're a lot cheaper. That should be right in their wheelhouse of what they want to bring in. So it leads me to believe that the Liberals probably have investments in a lot of these EV or green companies. I mean, look how much money they gave with that $8 billion fund to green companies that don't have to prove they've reduced their emissions at all. They don't want EV companies in China to compete with their investments or whatever they've got going on, corruptions and scandals that they've been sneaking away and hiding like a bunch of thieves. So which is it? Are we working with other countries? We want to save the planet? Is it all about money?
Canadian auto workers and the auto sector, however, are facing unfair competition from China's intentional, state-directed policy of overcapacity that is undermining Canada's EV sector's ability to compete in domestic and global markets. Chinese producers are quite intentionally generating a global oversupply that undermines EV producers around the world, including here in Canada. That is why we are here today. Our government is taking clear, strong, decisive action to protect Canadian workers, to level the playing field, to prevent oversupply, and to prevent transshipment through Canada.
She points out that the Chinese government is basically supporting their sector, their EV sector, but that's exactly what they're doing with Stellantis, Honda, billions of dollars. Like the Stellantis deal, was it take like, they calculated 50 years to get the money back on that? They just don't like that the Chinese are doing it better, a lot better. Like these people are just a bunch of losers who don't know what they're doing. You're getting just wrecked by China. I don't know why though. I mean, Justin Trudeau should just go talk to his master Xi Jinping and get some tips. I'm sure he's got his direct phone line. Why don't he just give him a call? Next up, we've got Captain Schmuck himself. There he is, right on Rainbow Road where he belongs. So it says, describe Justin Trudeau in one word. So here's the original post on Justin Trudeau's Instagram account. It says, I took this before heading home because we couldn't leave Reykjavik without visiting Rainbow Street to everyone celebrating Pride in Iceland. Justin Trudeau's the kind of guy who gets more excited about every other country than the one he's in charge of. Can we ask the people of Iceland, can you just keep him there? We don't want him. If you don't want him either, just send him over to Ukraine. He obviously cares more about that country than ours. Regarding the describe Trudeau in one word, some of these I can't show you, but skid mark. Embarrassing, traitor, weak, failed, traitor, clown, communist, revolting, bottom, Fidel 2.0, dictator, soy boy, cheap, fake, empty, evil, Castro son, goof, blackface, disappointment, beta. Next up, we got this clip here. It says Justin Trudeau and his clown brigade dress up and pretend to be everyday Canadians with their rolled up sleeves, serving food with no hairnets or gloves. This desperate attempt to look cool only comes off as lame and pathetic. Yes, it does. Yeah, I think the music would get copyright. It's just random music. No. Oh yeah, that's definitely getting copyright. We'll just turn that off. Look at him. He's like, oh, look, I'm buying food. It's like, yeah, people can't even afford food. Look at him just doing his stupid photo op. You can see the flashes of the lenses. How many? Yeah, there's a photographer and a videographer. He's traveling with 2 people to film that. Pretty pathetic. Oops, looks like prison for me for voicing my opinion. All these vids do is make every voter turn against them even more. We've got this post here from Sid Fizzard. It says, Calgarians have been starved of 2 billion liters of water. Businesses are facing financial losses due to mandatory and requested restrictions. Citizens are being asked to reduce hygienic measures, and the Mayor Gondak refuses to answer any accountability questions. And to catch up anyone, if you don't know the situation, there's a huge water main that broke. Mayor Gondak is just an absolute worthless loser who's not handling the situation very well.
The Mayor, Calgarians have been starved of 2 billion liters of drinking water. Businesses have suffered financially under restrictions, and citizens are being asked to reduce personal hygienic measures en masse. Has the city terminated any employment contracts in relation to this incident so far, or is this something we can expect to see as a result of the investigation?
The thing that Calgarians have been doing throughout this water emergency is banding together and understanding how reducing their water usage is critical to get us through this time. We understood very early on that we all had a role to play, and people have been saving water, and they've been sharing the ways that they've been doing that. They've been working very closely with each other and exchanging ideas. Businesses have done their part. They have talked about how they've shifted some of their practices to encourage less water usage. And so I think the people of Calgary and surrounding area understand how important it is to conserve water right now, and they've done a great job of it.
You gotta wonder, seeing how this is happening in the conservative stronghold in Calgary, just a conspiracy theory here, but if you were to test out how to break a city, and breaking a city that is not in support of the Liberals, going after a water main has proven to do the job, absolutely breaking a city and bringing it to its knees. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think just the water main broke because she wasn't on top of things. She wasn't getting things tested. They didn't look into things. She's just doing a bad job. This isn't happening in Ottawa or Montreal or places Trudeau likes. Sounds kind of like the water control government has been doing in the US. And what a special place to do this, the Calgary Stampede. What a mayor, you know, right up there with her buddy Trudeau. This guy saying that he doesn't blame her for the break, it's old infrastructure, but her response, though, that she can be blamed for that. Yeah, just testing what people do when water is taken away, and they're trying it on the most conservative province, and most just sit by and let it go on. That's basically what I just said. Testing it out to see how people react. I don't know. Conspiracy theory. Next up, we got this post here. I didn't know if this was real at first. It is. And I've obviously had to blur this out because this is not friendly language to this platform. Edmonton Oiler fans giving it to Trudeau. Amazing, I didn't see that on TV. Yeah, I guess they're careful camera angles to not show it. This is glorious. We got this post by Cat Canada. It says, walking down Douglas Street in woke Victoria was like walking through a zombie movie scene. This was just one block. This was everywhere. Why are all liberal cities like this? You know, I used to live on West Hastings in Vancouver. Anyone not familiar with that area, it's the highest crime rate in Canada. It was, I'm guessing somewhere in Toronto is now with all the criminals Trudeau's brought in. But yeah, you didn't want to walk anywhere down West Hastings because it was just this complete zombie land, blocks and blocks and blocks of it. At one point, I was considering moving to Victoria because it was the opposite. There was none of this in Victoria, not one. You would just see pristine streets of the, you know, old city, but like nice and beautiful. And now it's just, it's gone to hell. It looks like West Hastings everywhere. And this person's saying, what do you mean Nanaimo has this too? Yeah. If you get right off the ferry at Departure Bay, you see that too all over Nanaimo. We've got a post here from an Alberta man who's getting absolutely taken for on his overtime pay.
All right. So I worked 2 hours overtime at $54 an hour. I made $113, but my net pay was $19.81. My gross pay was $113.08, but my total deductions was $93.27. All right, so
That's obscene. He doesn't show anymore, but it's like, what are all these deductions? So it shows it a bit here. You got $1.81, $61, $2.30, $28. I mean, you're not incentivizing. No wonder productivity is down in Canada. I mean, what is this? What's the point of even working if you get nothing for it? This is why Canadians are moving to America. You make like 5 times more money and the houses are half as much. Depending where you live, it might be 5 times less. Some places in New York and LA, you're getting similar prices to some Canadian cities, but you can move out into the bush and get 20 acres and pay like 100, 200 grand. So as long as you can find a remote job, you're laughing in America. And there are politicians out there making $1,000 a day for doing nothing. Yeah, they are making that much. Next up, we got a clip here of some of Justin Trudeau's friends in the streets of Toronto. And we've got a kid sitting on, I presume, his dad's shoulders with one of these things that requires a permit. I guarantee you this guy doesn't have a permit to be using that. This is not acceptable. I should note too, I'm going to be showing less and less of these clips because every time I do it, I get dinged for it and I have to go back and delete things, and I've been trying to do single screenshots, and they keep getting dinged on the videos. Basically, if it gets restricted, then it won't share out the videos. Then there's no point for me making them because no one will see them. So yesterday I posted a video of the Rebel News where one of their members was being aggressively approached by some of those black Antifa types. Crazy clip. I can't share it though. So if you guys want to see those clips, I'll let you know about them. They're on my X account. The Antifa one is nutty. She gets sprayed with some sort of blue chemicals. There's cops standing right next to her. The cops do nothing. If you're one of those people from the other side of the world there who wears all black, you're allowed to do whatever you want in this country to Canadians, it seems, because the cops won't help you. And I hope by showing this one, I don't have the same problem, because I was up till 3 in the morning yesterday because I have to delete it and re-render it, and then YouTube has to take 30 minutes to process the video every single time and make an edit. Now on the flip side, we got this one from the pleb. We got some downtown Canadian protesting at Eaton Centre. Technically, this is coming from the lawyer Carmia on her account, shared by the pleb. I'm going to tend to start muting these a lot more too, because I think if the robot detects that it's something that it's not, like this is a protest, but maybe it thinks that there's some of this stuff going on. So it's a very finicky system that I'm getting quite annoyed with. Going through Eaton Centre here. We'll just mute it again. We don't want to anger the AI robot scanning thing. That's nice to see some people jumping in there on it. Now, a little bit more lighthearted, we've got this clip here. It says, only in Toronto, where do you think they'll be headed? There's a dog with some goggles on. That is hilarious. It's time to jump over to my group here and see what memes we got today. I speak for all Canadians. False. You only receive 39.5% of the popular vote. Only 66.1% of Canadians voted. You represent 26.1% of the population, and I'd venture a guess a good portion of them regret it. Next up, we got this one here. It says Ottawa Liberal John McKay, who's been an MP since 1997, says he won't run for office again. The Scarborough Guildwood MP won his seat in the past 9 federal elections. It says John McKay denounced Trudeau for his treasonous complicity with China. I mean, well, there's a couple of them now stepping down because Trudeau is just so terrible. Now, odds are a lot of these Liberals won't win their seats back. Some of them might. He might. People are stepping down because the captain of the ship is so bad. Can someone give me a list of countries that I can just walk into illegally and they'll give me cash, free housing, and a free phone? Canada, the USA, and I'm sure some idiot EU countries. You know, there's a guy in America where he just went into the government and pretended that he was an asylum seeker, and they just gave him money and a free phone. He was a citizen. He just wanted to see if he could get a free phone and money, and he did. If the government had a sandwich making program. Yeah, except this would be a layer of crap and a layer of toe jam. Justin Trudeau's daily planner. Lie, lunch. Yeah. Time to quit. Not again. I was just robbed at the grocery store. I'm a father. I'm a he. A father's something you could be. I'm a mother. I'm a she. A mother's something you could be. No. This book must go. What is this? Like the Bernstein Bears or something? I can't remember. I've seen this like 40 years ago. Failed grade 7, dropped out of university 3 times, ski instructor, drama teacher, trust fund baby. This is the criteria for Canadian Prime Minister when you're a Liberal. Ugh. Selling out Canada, yeah. How to address all genders so nobody gets offended. Attention, all fairy tale things.
4 hours later.
The election results are crazy. It started off with a split of 46% for the Liberals to about 36% for the Conservatives, and it's been getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it was hovering around 3.8% for a long time, then 2.5, then 2%, then 1.2%, and check what is happening right now. We are at a total of 98.44%. It is 1:12 in the morning right now, and it is Conservative on top, 41.8 to 40.3 for the Liberals. This is the Liberal stronghold. Can you believe this? The Liberals were just on top with 1.2% lead, and then I guess apparently a lot of the Jewish vote comes in. That's what some people are saying. The Jewish vote comes in last, which is going all Conservative, and it just swung it. So now Don Stewart is on top, but we still have this here. There's 3 more to be counted, 98.44. This could swing it back the other way. We don't know. I'm sitting here waiting like, what are the results? This is crazy though.
20 minutes later.
You guys got to check this out. Look at this. So right here, 100%, all the votes are in. Don Stewart won. Oh, wow. 42.1% to 40.5%. The Conservatives win. It's 1:45 a.m. I got to quickly get this up and get to bed, but unbelievable. They defeated the Liberal stronghold. Oh, there's going to be a landslide victory when Pierre Poilievre goes toe-to-toe with Trudeau next year. Trudeau, just call an election, buddy. Nobody likes you. Thanks for watching the end of the video here. I greatly appreciate all you. Be sure to subscribe and all that good stuff. Turn on the notification bell. Get notified of all my videos. We'll keep fighting for freedom. I'll see you guys in the next one.